Hello everybody. Welcome back to C&S Corvettes in beautiful Sarasota, Florida. This is your Corvette buddy Lyle. That's L-Y-L-E, Lyle, not Kyle, Lenny, Lonnie, Leslie, Lizzle, Lloyd, any of the other names. It's Lyle, so we'll just do that. Welcome back. I wanted to talk to you guys today about some of the reactions I got from my Corvette Horror Story video just last week about that red 95. Actually, it may have been 2 weeks ago now. Anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about if you're a regular viewer. Had a lot of feedback from that, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts on that for you. Let's talk about that, shall we? All right, so I'm going to ask you a trivia question for today. Like I did it last time, I'm going to ask you the question now. Go ahead and answer in the comment section below, and I will tell you the answer at the end of the video, okay? So today's trivia question is, in what year did air conditioning become standard on the Chevrolet Corvette? Discuss amongst yourselves. So I wanted to take a few minutes today to discuss with you some of the feedback I got on that Corvette Horror Story video. That car is still here. We are still investigating everything we can about the car to try to figure out what precisely is going wrong with it. I think it's important to note here that we are doing this to help out the customer. I am not charging this customer to figure out what's wrong with his car. He's paid a nominal fee for us to do diagnosis, and we have told him that being that this is a special case, that we are actually doing this on our own time to try to figure out what's wrong with it for our own edification. So while he is paying us, we are not charging him the hourly rate for all the time we have in this car. I wanted to clarify that. Secondly, I had several people write in, and kind of like I was punching down on, the mechanics who work for a living and the guys. Listen, we're all mechanics. We all work for a living, okay? I'm not blaming the technician on this. The technician does the work that he is handed to do. It is the service writer and the dealership who decide which work to accept. So when they hand Trevor the keys to a car to go fix, I mean, he's working under the assumption that it is within that dealership's wheelhouse that they can fix it. Now, if Trevor can't fix the car, that isn't Trevor's fault. That's the service manager's fault for taking in a job that was beyond their scope and their experience. Also, when it comes to newer cars like C7s and C8s, let me tell you, there's nobody who knows more about those cars at this point than the dealership. Nobody. I have people call me, and God bless them, they want to bring their C8s to me for the triple flush and this, that, and all the other. And I'm like, man, I really appreciate the shot at it, guys, but right now, the dealerships know more about those cars than I do. So I'm not going to take that work. I'd rather see you go to the dealership where they're literally doing that job every day and get really good service from them on that job. And when you're dealing with an older car, or when that C8's more like 5, 6, 7 years old, then we'll have the knowledge and the experience to be able to do that job for you. When it comes to older cars, and when I say older cars, basically anything more than like 10 or 15 years old, that's where a lot of the dealerships, not all, but a lot of the dealerships kind of fall off on their effectiveness when it comes to repairing those cars. Because the majority of their staff probably averages, their mechanic staff is probably average age of what, 29, 31? A lot of these guys weren't even, out of high school when these cars were being produced, or worse. So that's where going to somebody who has their hands in the older cars all the time, whether it's an Alfa Romeo, whether it's a BMW, a Corvette, what doesn't matter. There's a different skill set and a different knowledge base on those cars that the people who are working on the brand new cars at the dealership may not possess. That's not to say there aren't true car guys working at car dealerships who can literally fix anything. On our list of recommended repair facilities that you guys provided to us, that I share with everybody for free, there's a lot of dealerships on there, and I happily pass that along because people had really good experiences there. But largely my criticism about cars like this 95 is that this particular dealership probably shouldn't have taken on this job, because the car sat there for 3 months and they'd work on it for a bit and then park it and then work on it for a bit and park it, and sounds like they were trying to fix this car by committee. It doesn't sound like there was one person there who really understood how the LT1 works and all that stuff to get this car in, out, and done. So just that's what I wanted to clarify. The dealerships can be a great place, especially for the new cars. And if you have a good relationship and get good communication out of your dealership, that's the gold standard. As long as they're communicating with you, and as long as they are being honest with you about what they can and can't do, and what they are, where their strong suit is, and the places maybe they're not so good, they're probably the right guys to deal with. A lot of places don't have a bunch of independent shops local to them. A lot of times the dealer's the only one that's got the equipment and the scanners and the stuff to do the work. As long as they communicate, and as long as they are taking in jobs that they believe they can do, they're probably just fine. So I appreciate you listening to me on this. I just wanted to clarify some of the things I said last week. I don't do this video to upset anybody. We can all disagree, and disagreement's great. Put it in the comments. I read everything. But I don't insult anybody intentionally, just so we're clear. That's all. I said my piece. Now, for the answer to the trivia question, which was, in what year did Corvette air conditioning become standard instead of an option? The answer to that is way back in 1980. 79 was the last year that it was optional. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye.